All right, everyone, welcome. We're going to get us started here. Friday night Reddit Talks Clash, the r/Clash of Clans moderators here. Me, Congressman Cool Rick, joined by Sam, Gingerbread Recon. Say hello.
Hello, Sam here. I know, British, you. Thank you all. We should hopefully also be being joined by Mac, USSFG right. However, he is currently experiencing some technical difficulties, as always happens with these podcasts. We can never start them without a hitch. But there'll always be something. So yeah, hopefully we'll have him on soon.
I blame Reddit, really.
Yeah, it's always Reddit's fault.
So it should be a rather light episode today. Not a whole lot happening in the Clash world, unfortunately. Nope. It just kind of feels like we're in a holding pattern for Town Hall 15.
Yeah, I mean, Darian's acknowledged it's their next big update. Everyone knows it's their next big update. And obviously they never really reveal stuff ahead of time, so it's just this weird waiting moment.
Something I've been wondering about too is this is why I asked you guys this the other day to try and track down the quote, because he told Judo in that video interview with Judo back in June that the next major update would be Town Hall 15, and then again in the AMA, Darian and Stuart, who's the game lead, had said Town Hall 15 is coming sometime this year. To a lot of people, I think that reinforced the idea that October is going to be is going to be Town Hall 15, which would be precisely the 18-month time frame. And also, it makes a whole lot of sense just being on the tail end of the World Finals.
Oh yeah, totally.
In just about a month. However, he did say the next major update, and we have been getting quarterly updates that I wouldn't consider major.
That's
as well. We've had quality of life only updates. The Clan Capital was a major update.
Really?
I'll give him that, but I would say that's the only major update so far in 2022 out of
definitely
out of 3 so far. Mate. I am kind of wondering. There is potential that we get a minor update for the fall update and then Town Hall 15 in more like December.
Feels like they're really gearing up to Town Hall 15. They clearly wanted people to kind of ask about it in the AMA. I mean, there wasn't really much else to ask about, so I'd be surprised if we got an update. But then they have recently, I mean, obviously not Clan Capital, but they have pushed out really minor quality of life updates. I mean, the fact that they managed to drag out the last update with the army training cost removal to 3 sneak peeks is incredible, because it really was a tiny update. So I don't know if maybe they'll just give us a little sprinkle of update in autumn and then give us a final update in the Tower 15 in December.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we get just balance changes and quality of life stuff instead of new content. But also, I am still expecting Town Hall 15 for
I think
roughly October.
If you made me bet my money on it, I would anticipate Town Hall 15 being the next update. If you made me bet my money on it, because I also don't think they'd only release a minor update in autumn if Town Hall 15 just wasn't ready. I think if they had it all ready to go, they're just going to do it. And like you said, it's just I say it's just after. We assume it could be just after Worlds. That'd be a perfect place to get sneak peeks. Really, I think you think Worlds would be a good way to get attention to the sneak peek, but I think the sneak peek will probably be a good way to get attention to Worlds. They could do it that way. But yeah, I'd heavily bet my money on Town Hall 15 in October.
I would bet that is their intention, and they may or may not be able to make it a reality. So
yeah, I mean, we know Clan Capital was delayed a lot. So
yeah, I know, and it's kind of weird. I'm still kind of dumbstruck that the story of how we got Town Hall 14 when we did was that they intended that April of last year to be the Clan Capital update, and it just wasn't ready yet. So okay, well, let's just squeeze out Town Hall 14 real quick, and that's how it happened. So I don't know. A few times early in the year, they had said the work on Town Hall 15 has not yet begun, and I believe now they've said they are working on it.
We shall see. So do you want to do maybe just a few questions that have appeared in chat now, so we don't lose them?
Yeah, sure. Are there any
main content? Well, okay, I did have one question I just saw, which I thought it may be good to address because also it's something fairly recent. And it's from Hello Pikachu 9, who I have definitely seen around, and he was asking how we went around and got the merch, the events this month. Rick, would you care to share?
Yeah, I have an NDA. I am technically a tier 3 like content creator because they just call everyone content creators, even though I don't, make YouTube content or anything. They lump us and a lot of the other like website runners. I believe we're called resourcers. They lump us all in with those guys. So I'm in a big group chat with all the big names that you guys know and a lot of smaller names that you might not, who have NDAs and can play the dev build and do everything, and a lot of Supercell employees there. So we had approached one of the community managers a few months ago, and we said, hey, the game anniversary is coming up. You guys are giving away a lot of stuff. So all of the 80s, 90s, and 2000s themed stuff for the false history of Clash, the Clash arcade game, Clash Dash, and the Cradle of Darkness stuff. That was all like everyone. I think everyone in that program got 6-ish codes to give out. So we did some of those. I gave mine out on the podcast, and then that was all for the game 10-year anniversary. And then in addition to that, I reached out to one of the community managers, Cart and I did, and we said, hey, our 10-year anniversary is 2 weeks later. The subreddit was made on the 17th, and I believe the game anniversary was the 2nd, right?
Something like that, isn't it?
So yeah, we just said, hey, we want to celebrate our 10-year anniversary as well. Is there anything you could give us so we can do some giveaways? And they were super excited to be able to help that out. We got 10 VIP boxes and 10 Clash of Clans boxes. Like, they're called Clash of Clans boxes, but I think there's also some CR stuff mixed in there too. Like, there's stuff. Just it's Clash Universe stuff at least, which is still pretty cool. Super cool being able to give that stuff out.
Yeah, I mean, a huge shout out to yourself for that, because 20 merch boxes is a lot. I don't think we've ever got that many in one time. I mean, I'm probably wrong there, but it felt like a lot. So yeah, that was extremely, extremely generous of them.
And like those the VIP boxes, there's a lot of stuff in there. Those are massive. Those are massive boxes.
It did look cool. I mean, even the Clash of Clans gift box is quite a large box, even though they really could fit everything inside there in a much smaller box. But it's always fun getting a big box.
So yeah, it's kind of weird because I know they've talked about not having like a merchandise store anymore, and the reasons behind that basically being that it's really expensive to warehouse all that stuff to have it.
But where are they keeping this stuff?
So I don't know. So I think they're doing much smaller runs of all the merchandise stuff, and a lot of it I think is this is a guess, but I think a lot of it is left over from when they did have a store and had a massive stockpile of stuff. Most of the stuff they still have manufactured is meant to be given away through content creators and code giveaways and stuff. So hopefully we can continue to get in on that and give back to the community, because it's super fun. It is really cool to like DM people and say like, hey, go to redeem.supercell.com and type in this code, and they will ship stuff to you for free.
You do get some really genuinely excited people. And obviously I know that it's not me really giving them the codes at Supercell, and they're not really thanking me, but it's always quite nice to see the just actually genuinely happy messages, because you don't really get many of them on Reddit.
Feels like being Santa Claus.
So Rick, what is our first big discussion today then? What have you got for us?
I wanted to talk about a few things regarding leading clan and some of those decisions you do. I know Mac brought it up, I think, right? That he said that he wanted to talk about recruitment.
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
You're a leader of a clan right now, right?
I am a leader, yes. I'm a leader of Senators clan.
Senators, right?
Yes.
Yeah, without the accent, senators.
Shut up.
How do you guys handle recruiting right now?
So I'll be completely honest, we've been solidly at 45-ish members for a while now, so I actually haven't had to do much recruiting. But when we do, it's typically one post a week on r /Clash of Clans Recruit. We always ping members to go upvote, obviously making sure we don't go above 10 upvotes, because that's a no-no over there. So we have actually occasionally had to ask people to downvote the post, but we usually don't get that many people. Also, when I can be bothered, I will often post a daily recruiting ad in the r/clash Discord server. They've got some good recruitment channels there. And then when I'm really on the ball, I scour through hashtag I need a clan and just DM people and try to get them to join. I don't think I have used the in-game recruiting tool in years because that is useless, and especially because we require Discord in our clan. So if you're getting to people through the in-game recruiting tool, they're probably not going to join Discord. We do sometimes obviously get people who just request to join the clan. So if they're often they're low level, we just deny them. If they're high level, we might accept them and ask them to join Discord, but they'll get booted pretty quick if they just don't say anything. So what about you?
So I don't do any recruiting. I'm such a bad
Oh,
co-leader.
you-
I'm like
well,
I'm just a
what did you
co-leader.
do when you
Yeah.
when you led your clan? What did you used to do?
So what I used to do was we just won wars and recruiting
That's valid.
recruiting handled itself. So
Yeah.
At the peak of that clan, we had a 103 win streak before we lost it, and
Didn't you say that like almost all your clan just left after you lost
oh
that
yeah.
war?
So yeah, I can tell that story in a minute. I think I already have.
Yeah, I think you have on the pod before.
Months
actually.
and months ago, but
Yeah.
Anyway, when you're there's no way to say it without sounding like I'm a cocky jerk, but like when you're that good, like you don't need to recruit. Like people will come find you.
Yeah.
So and it's not that we were like especially talented. We just had we
had a good game plan.
Yeah, like we weren't totally engineered. We had one defenseless account and a couple 0.5s, and matchmate like it was the game gave us 100 wins in a row essentially.
Yeah.
No, so anyway, like around 20, this is years ago. So like getting over 25, 30 wins right now is massive.
Oh yeah.
The game punishes you now for win streaks that high. But way back when, around 30 is when we just were full constantly, and then like upwards of 50, we started getting a little paranoid that people were trying to hunt us, and that did happen a few times, that or attempts to. And then we finally lost it, like 103. I think we lost on a perfect war draw against another clan that had some engineered bases, which is rough.
Yeah,
that's no fun. Like if someone legitimately beat us, that I could have handled that a lot better. But just losing on a draw it sucks. But it is what it is. Anyway, so at that point, a lot of our core people, like 100 wars, is the better part of a year. So a lot of our original core group of people had people come and go out of clans. But when we lost that streak, like literally everyone who was there only for the streak left immediately.
Jump ship. Wow.
We went from 50 members down to like 17, like overnight.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that was really gutting too. That was a bad feeling. But
and I get it was more like also once one or two people left, then another person thought, oh right, yeah, if they're jumping ship, I will too. Yeah. And it's kind of a chain reaction.
And I know, like, just for reference for how long ago that was at the time we lost it, 103 put us in the top 15 in the world, I think, at the time.
Blimey, that is quite impressive.
So it's like, I know Clash of Stats still has leaderboards, and like in all-time war streaks, it's way down in like the 200s now. But at the time, it was like we were still way behind the Martians and stuff. But I don't know, it was cool. Anyway, after that, when I did need to recruit, it was just the recruit subreddit and just going out and meeting people. And I've always had much better luck by just
how do you
talking
to
people
to recruit them to your clan? Are you hanging out at a park somewhere?
Who's that?
That's Mac. He's arrived.
Yeah,
hello.
You sound really different.
Yeah, honestly, I've been spending most of this time troubleshooting my microphone. I don't know why it wasn't working before, and would have been nice to have it working from the jump there, but I'm here now.
Hey, man, well, welcome.
You made it eventually.
But yeah, I've never recruited anyone out of the park. But just
where do you go?
In like just the Discord servers for all the different town hall levels, and you just like even global wasn't great for recruiting, but did give you a chance to strike up conversations with people. And then
I think recruiting is one of the most important topics in the community to, help out with clan health. So shout out those servers that you go to. I'm sure I should be visiting more than just the r/Clash of Clans server.
we should have like a big wiki page of just there's hundreds of servers out there too.
Yeah, that's say you be there for ages.
There is an incredible document that a former mod wrote and shared within the Reddit clan system. I don't know if you guys, I know Sam's familiar, but once upon a time, there was a clan system built out of the Reddit moderation team, and we should get someone on to tell the full history and do it justice at some point. But long story short,
eventually,
the RCS is a step separated now from the actual subreddit. It's not quite at the same connection that it used to have, which is for the best, keeps it a little bit more drama free. But Zag, former mod, wrote an incredible recruiting guide. I'll see if I can find a copy of it quickly.
Well, while you're looking for that, Rick, do you have anything to say?
I've always gravitated towards like clan families. So I've never been in an RCS clan just because like a lot of the rules and a lot of my first introduction to the RCS was through all the RCS drama 5-6 years ago. And so I have been in the RWCS when that split happened, and then we don't need to get into all that. And then the RIC, which is ran by another former mod, Goatman, who's out and about, still playing somewhere, I guess. And then also the other podcast families, the Clash Files family specifically, I spent a lot of time in, years in, and they're still going strong. They still have a few podcasts too. I don't know. That's always something that I've looked for, is just a big setup already system. I don't want to join a clan and have to work at it.
Yeah, you want everything to be there for you. And I will admit, RCS does have some questionable rules, but I am not going to divulge into that because I actually will probably get our clan booted from the RCS. That has happened before.
And like that stupid attitude is why I've always avoided RCS clans, is because like I'm sure they have a lot of those rules for reasons, and there may even be good reasons, but it's always just felt overly controlling. And when you have people saying like, I can't speak my mind because I don't want to get booted out,
but I'm probably exaggerating that.
Just look how scared you sound right now. You're like, please, we're not talking about the RCS, please.
I'm shivering in my seat. Though, generally, I probably shouldn't keep going because, like, I'll say too many things and then they're gonna wonder why I'm even here. But yeah.
Check 1 2.
There we go. It's time for me to stop.
Oh, my microphone went out again. Who knows how long I'll be here? And I had to just sit here and take it while you guys talk shit about my precious RCS, because I'm a big fan of the Reddit clan system and really clan systems in general.
Yeah, same.
Yes.
I think that they provide. And let's talk pros and cons. I think it's okay to get into it a little bit because I'm here to defend it a little bit, and that makes for a fun conversation, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I think the big pro and like the big reason is that most clans kind of stink, and in my experience, anyway, hopping around now, I've always looked for competitive clans when I hop around. So when you're looking for a competitive clan, you're looking for a certain type of atmosphere. But what the Reddit clan system does for your average clans, where you're not trying to be competitive, or you're trying to be social, or just play the game for fun, not necessarily, some people don't hit every war attack. Can you believe that? I know it's hard for us to think about that, but some people miss hits in war and they don't even care. They don't think it's a big deal, But what the Reddit clan system will do is it'll vet clans so that way there's a stamp on them. So it just gives you a smaller pool to choose from and makes the overall choice of clans a lot less overwhelming. So clan systems with an audience, like the RCS, the audience is Reddit, I think that's a big leg up. And I think that there's one particular rule that Sam has a problem with.
It's a stupid password, and it's
the password.
Yeah, I know.
We're always trying to kick our leaders to enforce the password better, and we do enforce it very well. Zig, if you're listening, we enforce it very well.
So I understand the intention of the password, because for anyone who doesn't know, you have to use a password in your request message. And the intention is that the password is hidden within the giant page of rules. So they want you to go read the rules, and then as you read all the rules, you will learn the password, and then you can you can request. But that's if you say, like, in the instructions say you need the password is on this page, You're going to go there. You're going to control F for password, and you're not going to read any of that junk.
Yeah,
And
I think
it's a huge page that could just be summed
that's
up
not
by
true.
just all the rules can be summed up by just don't be a dick.
yeah.
Is all you need to say is don't be a dick. And that's it.
I really want to draw a correlation here to when we had to do tags in the title, because I remember the main argument which we got told for why when we were new mods, it's more to me and Rick, I'm sure Mac probably had the same question answered, was so why do we still have these title tags? And the answer was, well, we hope that when people get it wrong and they get their post removed, they will end up finding out why and then reading the rules. But I don't think that really works, as obviously people just found the applicable bit, found the title tags, then just went with it. If it actually made people read the rules, we wouldn't have a job here. So
there were so many times where you could look in the mod log and see the same person submit the same wrong title 4 or 5 times in a row. And then they just give up. Like they never get it right. They just give up. And that's the rare extra stupid person who does it that many times. But our rules,
the barrier to entry, simple password, does not change often. It's a pretty low barrier to entry, right? So I think that if you're trying to just do the most basic thing to try to sort out people who actually care about playing and create clans that are a little bit stronger because the members tried 1 degree harder, introducing a simple password is a pretty nice little thing. Plus, it helps build a sense of community between the different clans.
I've used a password myself in the past. In the clan I was just talking about too, we did have a password because we had a lot of people hopping, and we had feeders at the time, and it made sense. Because we were afraid of being hunted, so it kind of made sense a little bit, but we didn't make it a huge secret.
It was probably more secret than the RCS password, to be fair.
Yeah, it was. So the game has changed so much since then. I don't know how much it's really needed anymore. A lot of the bad taste in my mouth about the RCS is from years ago, back with the old mod drama. There's a long history, and then the Reddit War Clan system split, and those guys. And
I thought you were going to say the bad taste is from that incident in Senators.
Oh yeah, so I don't know. Have you ever told Mac this? But I know I hopped in to see. Sam had said he had a good war attack or something, so I hopped over to Senators or whichever clan it was to.
It's probably still Senators then. Yeah,
just to watch his replay, and I think I called him a wiener or something something really PG, and then he told me later that some guy brought it up in leader chat about the guy bullying him.
Yeah.
And then that was my impression of Senators for the longest time, was just I can't even say weenies. I can't even say weenies. Come on.
So hold on. I'm sorry. My audio interface is terrible. Long story short, did you get rejected because you didn't use the password? Was that the story?
No. The story was you got rejected or you got...
Yeah. I have been rejected because I haven't used the password in different clans. So everyone who uses Reddit should know the user by will alone, the grog in Reddit IOTA. So I mean, I'm not a Clash celebrity, but at least on Reddit, I think a lot of people do know me. And I talk to I'll call him Will, even though he hates it. I talk to Will a lot. We DM each other on Discord and Reddit and respond to each other's posts and stuff. And I really like him, but I know there's a few times where I've went to do a war in one of his clans, and he's like, "You need to say the password." I'm like, "You know who I am." If I'm like, "Hey, this is Rick," on my alt, and I'm coming, and I talk to you in Discord and saying, "Hey, I'm going to bring an 11. Can I do CWO with you or whatever?"
I don't think they enforce it to that extent. So just for those listening, they don't enforce it to the extent. I mean, some people do. It varies clan to clan, but the council, the way the rules are set up, you should only have to give it really as an initial barrier to entry. You can give it once on Discord, not even end game in a request necessarily, right?
If it's a clan I've literally been in before and done wars with, and say, "Hey, it's me, I'm back." Don't be a wiener. Don't just.
Yeah, and I think that you're right about that. But at the same time, did you ever have a secret fort with the password? Hanging out in the treehouse,
Yeah, but I'm also not 11 years old anymore.
Yeah, but we are playing a game for kids, and it's kind of fun to have a club.
I don't have a retort for that one.
Right, we've kind of divulged a lot on the RCS and passwords.
And another
so-
thing I hate about the RCS.
Oh, fucking hell.
Bring it on. I love them.
Mac, what methods of recruiting have you found successful?
Well, I think it helps a lot to put that you're a member of the RCS in your recruiting post as you post your recruits posts across the subreddits and different areas that recruiting's encouraged. But I find, and what I always encourage recruiters to do with our clan more seriously is DMing people is what it comes down to. We posted lots of ads. We get lots of recruits through ads, but the return rate on recruits is not nearly as high as when you find someone who posted a good ad and you respond to them like a human with a copy pasta.
I know, like I've had a lot of different Reddit accounts over the years, and I think I've told you at least about one of them, but I did look through old chat messages, and I have at least 3 like DMs from you specifically saying, hey, hey, I saw your post, I liked it. If you're looking for a good clan, here this is. And that was on Rick.
Slide into those DMs,
and then
right?
on like 2 of my previous ones.
I really quit doing that once I became a moderator. I felt like it was more inappropriate at that point, for what it's worth.
I know,
but I did used to slide into Reddit DMs on people's posts that were fun.
I know. I have been looking for a clan, and on a few occasions since I became a moderator, and I have like thought, like, is this a selling point for me? like should I post on the recruit sub like, hey, it's me.
I'd love to
cool,
hear
Rick.
you guys down in the chat. Should us as moderators be able to distinguish our comments on recruits threads?
No.
Should we be able to really leverage our platform here?
Like it's one of those things where like I don't know if it's going to be effective. I know it's going to look dorky, and anyone who's really excited to have a Reddit mod in their clan is probably someone I'm not going to be excited to be in their clan.
That's fair. I think around the time of updates when people are just hyped about the game and they want to like be in the scoop, like be right there in the loop as news comes out, it helps a lot knowing that people in your clan are connected, and that's a selling point around that time of year.
Saying that though, I don't think it's common knowledge that some people have NDAs, and not that they would disclose information anyway. But
you're not supposed to know. That's the whole point, right?
It was like one of the first questions I saw down here too. This guy's like, any spoilers on what might happen after 5 days, 7 hours, which I assume is the end of some event in there. I never even pay attention to the events.
It's probably
anymore.
the end of Clashversary. It's probably September in 5 days or something.
I will.
Did you guys finish Clashversary?
Yes. Not on all my accounts, but I did. Just to finish that, I will say I do know what's coming up. The next event. Ooh. I don't know off the top of my head the exact timing of it, and it is.
Give us a
cool.
hint.
It is no. It's. I'll say it's cool. It's cool.
You could cut it out, but it's still just us liars.
Yeah, the next stuff is fun, and you guys will enjoy it.
Yeah. So should we move on to some maybe other stuff regarding clan leadership?
Yeah.
Because that seems to be kind of the focus this episode is turned into.
Okay. No, I will say I don't want to like totally crap on RCS too, but one of the
audio interface cut out again, and you guys just started crapping on RCS immediately.
No, I was just saying I don't want to solely crap on them, and I was about to say,
is there any better clan system?
I was
going to know.
Surviving.
Who's that? Like, never heard of them.
Like I've known other clan systems that I've preferred immensely to the RCS, but
name one. It's okay to shout them out.
Like the 2 I said before, the RAC and the RWCS.
You like the Reddit clan system direct rivals. So
yes.
You were completely on the other side of the drama. That's what this comes down to.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
We've got personal beef here, guys. This is not fair.
So, but anyway, one of the positives I will say is that if you like for every level of the game that you are in every for every town hall and every level of seriousness, there is an RCS clan for you. So you can go to the RCS sub and it's sorted really conveniently. You can say, hey, I'm a town hall 8 and I really love war and I want to take war seriously and learn that. You can navigate the chart pretty easily and find a list of 5, 6, 7 clans who accept town hall 8s and will teach you to be a better war player, for example. So that's right. There is a massive catalog of clans for you to choose from.
Fun
and
community
you can find
events.
You can definitely find someone that will fit your playstyle. Next up, I don't want to say So we talked about bringing people into the clan recruiting wise, but how do you guys decide when to kick people? Like what are the triggers that that determine when you need to remove someone from the clan?
Well,
Sam?
why don't we throw it to Sam for a case study?
You're going to use me as a case study?
No,
Yeah.
I just meant you might want to set up the topic. I know you're excited to talk about it, and who knows if my
right,
audio
so,
interface will
yes,
kick out.
yes.
But let's call him the
I-
code name, okay? Let's not out this guy because Sam and I, I'm going to disagree for the sake of disagreeing. I want to say up front, I don't necessarily what follows. I don't necessarily agree with 100%.
Okay, so we're going to call this individual Jerry.
Bam.
That is not his name at all, but it
Jerry?
is the first name I thought of. Yeah, Jerry.
That was
So-
good pick. I was going to call him something much closer. Go ahead.
So Jerry has been a member. So I am the leader of Senators, which is the feeder clan to the clan Mac leads Centuriots. So Jerry here was a member of Centuriots. He was like personally a really friendly guy. I've talked to had private conversations with him before, and he's positive, he's enthusiastic, he's fun.
His original time in our clan might have actually been before you, Sam.
Yes,
originally,
I think
he joined the clan years ago with a large group of Spanish-speaking individuals.
Never knew that. Well, that's some fun lore. But yeah, so Jerry here, he donated a lot to Clan Capital. All his builders, everything would go to Clan Capital. So obviously that was a plus. Though in the clan
Several accounts.
In the clan of Max Tunnel accounts, that is mostly what everyone was doing as well, but still valid contributions. However, one big issue was that he chronically missed hits. So he missed one hit at one point. I can't remember when. I don't think I was a leader in Centuriots at that point. I was for a bit. But I think that was brushed over. Possibly there was a good excuse or whatnot. But then he missed another set of hits. And then he missed another set of hits just a few days ago. So this is basically 3 offenses now. And it got to the point where everyone was like, okay, this is silly. We're a competitive war clan. I know he always comes back with really heartfelt apologies, whatnot, and he's a great guy. But we can't have people missing hits like this in a competitive clan. And then the team, the leads kind of voted to remove him. We usually would miss hits. It wouldn't be such a divisive boot. If they're a new member, haven't done much, miss a hit, they're probably gone. But
the real difference here is Jerry was sincere and persistent. The tenacity he showed in trying to rejoin the clan, he remained positive throughout, never got bitter or negative with us, and continues even now to try and make his case for rejoining.
Yeah, so he was basically saying he won't do war. He will just stay there and give us counter gold, and that'll be it. Though the issue is, obviously, as a war clan, you do kind of have to just sit there and think, is there much worth us keeping this person who is only going to donate capital gold, which basically every other person is doing? This is my perspective, by the way. I think Max does slightly disagree with me.
He does bring 4 accounts.
He does bring 4 accounts. But then also, I think there is a big thing about setting an example. And if people think they can miss 3 sets of hits, then that is a problem. And he also had, I think, slightly questionable views on his role in missing hits. His argument was that they never cost us the war. And personally, I think that's quite a neglection of responsibility, that you just think, oh, my clanmates have got it, so I don't need to bother. So that's, in my opinion, somewhat selfish. And I did say that if everyone thought that, no hits would be done. So I think it is kind of a selfish argument to say that the wars weren't lost because even though they missed hits, which is basically saying I can't be asked to put in the efforts because I know other people will.
So what do you think, Rick? How many chances do you give this guy? He says this time he really, really won't miss hits. He even said that he would turn his other accounts red for war and only have 1 that's green. And this time he really means it because he knows that we're serious.
I mean, this time I really mean it all the time, but that's just not how it works out. I tend to give everyone a freebie. just because life happens, like even in that big street clan I was talking about earlier, it happens, and you're gonna have to adapt. No one person ever loses you a war. It's hard, but when it's repeated, when it's a pattern, that's when you have to say like, hey, you've had your chances. I do think everyone should get like a freebie as long as it doesn't become a pattern. And with that, dude, it's a pattern.
Yeah, there's a pattern.
It's not big boss, is it? Or big hoss? There's some guy in the comments saying he or bad blinks.
That name is not familiar to me at all.
All right, no, he's he's saying like there was a comment like from him that said the mods are trash talking me. So I don't know if that's him or not.
Yeah, I really don't recognize that name, so don't worry. I don't think we're talking about you.
So what are the like instant kicks for you though?
So instant kicks is new member, doesn't get war hits, and hasn't said anything. That is to me an instant boot. If someone doesn't communicate for a while, or kind of shrugs off their missed hits, or doesn't, makes no kind of attempt to apologize, and you kind of just see them on the next day and they don't say anything, that will be a boot, probably. I mean, I always factor in how long they've been with the clan. For example, I'm going to treat someone who's been with the clan for a year quite differently to someone who's been there for 2 weeks. My kind of attitude towards boots has changed somewhat recently. I used to be quite harsh and would kind of just boot people, and I didn't usually give many freebies unless I felt it was warranted. But I find myself now being a lot more conservative with it, and usually I think I've let like almost everyone off in the past month or two for a missed hits, even if they haven't been with us that long. It really obviously does depend on the person, but I think I have become more lax recently. But then I also am aware that it is a bad impression when you don't also acknowledge it, because in a sense a boot is an acknowledgement and recognition, and people are like, okay, these guys are serious. Whereas if you don't boot, there is no acknowledgement or recognition, because you can't exactly make an announcement about the fact that you're not booting someone. So there is the kind of issue with setting a precedent of just waving things away, which I am consciously aware of. What about you?
Just the instant stuff is like if you're gonna come in and start shouting racial slurs or being a total toxic jerk, is all the really, really obvious stuff.
Yeah.
But anything else I think is a lot more contextual. And missing war hits too. As a new guy, I'm a lot less lenient.
That doesn't happen in the Reddit clan system. People don't join and do profanities because our members have to try a little harder to get in,
I'm sure it's happened.
But we actually had a member today, an old guy. This is a tangent. It's kind of related. Have you ever had a troll your clan for 6 years?
6 years is a lot. I've had a troll. I've had a troll hit me personally for 4 months at a time.
I was about to say,
weird guy that would
Sad Rice. He was.
I miss that guy so much. I miss that guy in the sub so much.
Yeah, he did. He did find his way to the clan Discord, so that was quite dedicated. I'll grant him that. Maybe he'll be listening to this on Spotify. Sad Rice, I still remember you, and that was very funny.
I know. So as mods, like, people do try and troll us a lot, and it, like, at least me, it doesn't bug me personally.
Oh no,
it's annoying when it's not original. But every now and then you meet some wonderful individuals who are really good, who are really good at it, and who are just hilarious. And that it does take the sting out of all the other trolling, is just when someone is really good, and you have to respect it.
Kind of related here, when you get insulted on Reddit and called all sorts of horrible things, have you ever actually personally felt anything from that? I'm genuinely curious here.
No, like every time someone's
anything from what?
For like if someone's raging at you for a mod action, right? Like it's never personal. It's like having a post removed or a comment removed, or like if I have to scold someone like they're a school child and say like, hey, you need to use nice language, You know, like that. I get it. That's frustrating, and I wouldn't take it too well either. And you know, like people just hate on mods, and I get it, and it's a losing battle to try and
It's fun.
It's a losing battle to try and stand up for mods. But I say, like, if you're gonna come at me, just be funny. Like, just be original.
Yeah.
Like, none of this touch grass, mom's basement garbage. It's old, it's played out, and it's not funny. But if you can come up with something original, or you know, like I am all ears. You know, and that is a challenge.
Oh yeah, like most things are being done to death. And if you're just gonna swear at me, at least make it creative. You know, there are some I've heard some pretty good insults. You know, like
I wish we
I'll
could
respect
publish
that.
some of the mod mail on the occasions where someone comes in raging and then different moderators take turns responding. I get a real kick out of some of those.
I got a warning from Reddit admins over Sad Rice, who he was like he would send me drafts of posts, mostly which were complaining about Sam, and he's like, is this okay to post? And it would be hilarious. And I know he did eventually post like some kind of garbage post, you know, as a meme or whatever, and it did really well. I got like 3,000-4,000 upvotes on the sub. And then I know and he was really proud of it, so I was trying to troll him back, and I was like, you know, you're welcome. I went on Fiverr and I bought I know, like I told him I bought him like 3,000 upvotes, which is only cost like $10 or something. It's really like you can do it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sites.
That's
I'll probably get I don't like probably shouldn't, you know, talk about
and
that.
then that's how the Clash subreddit lost their Reddit talk.
So anyway, like what he did was really smart. Is he reported that chat message to Reddit admins, and like I ended up getting a warning. Like if I had other warnings for other stuff before, my account probably would have been suspended, and I would have lost my mod status.
Oh no, that would have been awful. Oh no.
But then also too, like it also gave me the opportunity to write back to the admin, because I got a warning that it was just a real blanket, not specific, like, hey, you're violating the Reddit TOS. Don't do that. And I had to write him back like, what are you talking about? What did I do? I do have alt accounts, and I was saying like maybe I accidentally upvoted the same thing twice from different accounts. And I was just trying to figure out, like, hey, I said, hey, what did I do, just so I know not to do it again? And he's like, you went and purchased upvotes. I'm like, no, I didn't. And also, can you guys not tell that like can you guys not tell that actually happens or not? Because I was messing with a troll, like that didn't actually happen. Like, are you guys seriously unable to tell? And then I obviously never got a response for that one.
Oh no, obviously not. Yeah, I do. I think also some of the funniest trolls I've seen is the people that take different spins on your name. Congressman Jolrick, Congressman Lame Rick was my favorite.
It's Lame Rick and Lame Ass Rick and Kong Ass Man, Lame Rick, a whole lot of weird, like, yeah, it's not original. Just be original if you control me.
See, Congressman Lame Rick or whatever it was definitely my favorite, because that was Davey, and every time he tried to shadow ban him, he'd just remove himself from the shadow ban.
That bugged me so much. I was like, didn't I ban this guy? And, I should have just went to the mod logs and looked. But, I'm not. I don't take it that seriously.
It was quite funny though. So do we have any good questions in the comments right now? Because I'm noticing we're nearing the end, and I'm wondering, has anyone seen anything wonderful that anyone has asked?
Well, we'll give everybody one last chance to put some in there.
Yeah,
I saw a question earlier from Daddy Vic. How do I get better at Town Hall 12 attacking? You guys have a favorite Town Hall 12 strategy?
Oh, isn't it just like witch golem spam at that point? Isn't that Town Hall 12?
So my favorite my go-to Town Hall 12 is 4 super witches and all witches on that. So you do a super witch on each side and 2 witches, and that starts the funnel on 2 corners, and you do everything else up the middle with a log launcher, and then you do Zapquake for 2 Infernos. So the log launcher clears the path through the core. Super witches and witches just clean everything out, and hopefully you took out 2 multis and any additional splash you can. 90% of the time it works every time. Unless you're streaming live to 3 people, and then you fail.
That was quite funny. Though I will say, at Town 12, that is also the point where you can kind of start looking at Town 14 strategies, for example, and very easily apply them down, which you can't really do at lower town halls. But town 12, you can easily do a Lalo attack. You can easily do hybrids.
Mhm.
You've got
Hybrid.
all
Yeah.
you've got all the
Hybrid.
troops.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
Do
you've
your
got all.
If Lionheart were here, he would cut in way earlier to shout out hybrid for this.
Yeah.
This is his favorite
So-
strategy there.
Daddy Vic, if you're new Town Hall 12, do yourself a favor and figure out hybrid right now, because it's going to serve you well all through Town Hall 12 and all through Town Hall 13.
And even
then
a bit of 14.
and it's situational at Town Hall 14. But if you're
Yeah.
good at it, you can make it work on a lot of bases at Town Hall 14. So learn it now.
And the meta right now,
Yeah.
turning towards hybrid a little bit.
Yes, actually, I watched a match recently, which Queen Walkers are playing in. 3 out of 5 of their hits were Queen Charge Hybrid. And I think that's probably the first time I've seen, definitely Queen Walkers, who I would say favor Lalo much more, do that many hybrid hits. So that really surprised me. I don't know why there's been a meta shift. I really, obviously there hasn't really been many updates recently. But yeah, I have noticed it slowly made a resurgence ever since they got the Minor and Hog Riders got the extra levels way back. It's slowly been creeping back in. So yeah, it's really, really valuable to learn. We could explain it here, but there are many, many better people who could teach it for you. I'd recommend people like Itsu. I'm sure Eric has a good video. Judo, Carbon Fin. I'm sure they have some good tutorials. So seriously, check it out on YouTube. You will not regret learning hybrid.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
I know, like I know we said Town Hall 12, like learn hybrid, but like start learning hybrid at Town Hall 10 if you're if you're lower Town Hall, because it is solid at 10. It's sometimes a little harder at 10, but you can definitely do it. Town Hall 11 is amazing, and 12 and 13 it's also awesome. So learn it and practice it and get good at it. And I normally don't like people who only have one attack and rely on it, but hybrid can be that attack and you can be good for the next 2 years of your life. If you're Town Hall 10 and you're good at hybrid, it will serve you well for a long time.
And I mean, learning a good Queen Charge will translate to a whole bunch of other attacks.
Oh yeah,
and then all you got to do is swap out hybrid for skybrid, something like that,
Yes.
and you'll be good for a long time.
Man, Town Hall 15 better be a ground meta, because I'm so tired of air.
We'll see. Doubt it. Unable Spare 1962 said that his account. He wants to shout out Supercell support. His account was banned for no reason, and he's contacted support and had zero help.
God,
this might be the first time that I've read a post like this. Supercell support is notoriously good.
Yeah, I've heard it's brilliant.
Yeah, you need to make the sarcasm extra apparent there.
Yeah. Also, whenever I hear Supercell support posts anymore, I don't believe most people.
Really?
Am I too cynical?
Yes,
I think so.
Yeah. So it's like support is contracted out to a whole different company. That a lot of the times it's.
What do you say to Darian saying that in every case that he looks into it, they are rightfully banned?
Well, I think Rick probably has a good insight here, as he recently had a chat with someone who works in Supercell support.
Well, no, okay. Well, like, I mean, I had 5 random Reddit comments from a guy who worked for support, years ago. I randomly saw a guy who said he worked for them back in like 2015, and it's since a different company. But what he said was, like there's an insane amount of phishing, which I definitely believe. I wholeheartedly believe that there's a ton of phishing, and that even if you're in support, that if you told me the majority of your day is dealing with phishing, like I buy it. Yeah, I do. But the system is set up to where if you just don't remember some stuff about a mobile game you started 10 years ago, it's going to look the same as if you're trying to steal an account. And that's a terrible system. So the process needs to change to make phishing less easier. And so you just get unlimited chances at guessing at stuff. Like we've hammered that a lot, and we should again. I do hope to get.
Yeah, that's why I thought we would at least shout it out here.
In-depth look at it. Yeah, support
we've got whole episodes on this topic.
I know. I'm consistently disappointed in Supercell support.
Yeah, I'm still torn on the issue a lot of the time. Like I said, like individual comments, I don't believe you. But the volume of comments, I'm like, something's up.
There are undoubtedly there's a lot of liars and a lot of scammers out there. So, like when Darian comes out and says, "Hey, like, when I look at a lot of cases and it's all fishers or shady or people who have a shady past, like I also believe that. Too,
I also believe that Darian hasn't personally looked at many cases. That's my
it's because
2 cents.
because he'll also say like, I'm not a customer support guy. It's not my job.
Yeah, and that's fair enough. He, like, to be fair, he is the person which all the criticism is directed to, and he's also the person who doesn't have, he's not in control.
Like, none of my complaints about Darian are about like Darian as a person. It's just he's the face of Supercell. So I probably should do better about making that distinction between Darian and Supercell. Like, I've only had a few interactions with Darian personally, and he's always seemed like a real nice guy. So
yeah. Oh, definitely.
Simba, LOL. What town hall did most people quit the game?
Yeah,
it's a good one.
It is a good one.
Like, Darian has answered this one specifically.
Has he? Do you know
what
the answer
it was? A long time ago. It was I want to say 11 or 12.
Huh.
That sounds
around
right
there. It's going to end up being like a shifting timeline kind of thing too. Like, as 15, like when 15 comes out, we're going to get a whole round of, reductions in cost and time and speed of upgrades. And that's going to like shift it probably up a town hall where most people quit. It's probably that threshold where things start getting really long, like around when you start getting like everything is 7 days.
There must be like a minimum threshold because most people probably download it and then never open it again. That's got to be the most frequent thing, right?
Yeah, maybe he
probably
excluded like Town Hall 2.
Yeah, like I would, Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if you say like the vast majority of people, don't play past the tutorial, that's not a real meaningful
Not a fun way to
go
answer the
off of.
question.
Yeah, I think Town Hall 11, Town 12 does sound about right because this is kind of more anecdotally, but I'm sure you've seen many posts on the subreddit which are like, oh, look at these upgrade times, and they're usually around the Town Hall 11 mark where you see the posts, people starting to complain, and then of course you get the people coming in and going, oh,
just wait until 14.
Yep.
When it's 18 days.
I bet the vast majority of people that quit at Town Hall 10 and 11 didn't max the heroes at Town Hall 9.
But did you max your heroes at Town Hall 9?
It was a different time. But yeah, absolutely. When I was Town Hall 9, there was only Town Hall 10, so
okay, fair enough. Well, when I was Town Hall 9, I did not max my heroes. But you have to stay at Town Hall 9 for a long time to actually max your heroes. Though the issue
You're telling me Town Hall 9 back when I did Town Hall 9.
Okay. Back in the old days. But the issue is that people often don't catch them up, and they, especially heroes like the King, they just neglect, and it's really
easy to get behind on hero upgrades. And
yeah, if you don't stick with them constantly,
just the internet in general loves to push like rushing as a narrative, and they're not wrong. But I think every time someone tells you like you need to rush, you need to specifically say like, but don't leave your heroes behind. Rush everything else, but do your heroes. Yeah. If you only have 2 builders because you're that rushed, those 2 builders need to be on your 2 heroes. Like, it's that important.
Yeah, definitely. Right, well, we kind of hit an hour now. Does anyone have anything else to add, or should we start to wrap it up?
I think that covers all the good questions we had at the end there.
Yep.
Appreciate everybody that was tuned in live tonight and interactive in the chat. Sorry we didn't get you in here. Bad Blinks. I hope that you are the person that we kicked out of the clan, because that'll be great for me. And you can just DM me. We'll talk about it some more. We can reject you one more time. Do you guys want to shout out anything on the way out the door?
I do. I have a couple. Trample Damage, who is my clan leader, none other really amazing editor, whom he just got his creator code. So if you were thinking of making purchases, go to settings, you tap the little C in the shop, and you type in a code. And then they get a small percentage of all of your purchases.
Oh. What's Trample Damage's code?
Trample Damage's code is Trample, TRAMPLE.
Oh wow! Just tap the C in the store there.
Yeah, he's a real humble guy, and he's not going to pimp his own code on the sub. So we will do it for him. He's a friend of the pod. He's a personal friend of mine, I would say, as far as internet friends go. And
that was so easy to do.
And I'm in his clan, full disclosure, because he's a really great guy. And he makes some great content. Then I also want to say cheers to Hero Killa. He is one of the hosts of the Only Clash podcast. That's the name of it, the Only Clash podcast. They are also live, I think, right now still. They go live in the C2J Crystal 2 Join Discord server. That's another clan family of associated podcasts. Really good stuff. I love your guys' podcast. Sorry I missed it live, but yeah, cheers to Hero. I hope your pod's going well. I'm gonna listen to it later. Sam, what do you got?
My shout out is to my bed, which I'll be in very shortly, as I'm very tired. That is all my shout outs.
Shout out to the Reddit clan system, proud member of the RCS. And if you can't find the Reddit password, I don't want you in my clan.
This is a biased opinion, by the way, as Mac is a leader or a council member or something like that in the RCS. So
no. Not in leadership.
Are you not?
Oh, not in council by any means. No.
Oh.
I just volunteer for stuff.
Well, I thought you were much higher up than you are. Off. Never mind then.
Yeah, no need to suck up to Mac, huh?
Yeah.
Ooh, no. But yeah, shout out RCS. Appreciate everybody here listening live, and thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Have a good one, everyone. Goodbye.
Yeah, have a good one. Yeah, see you in 2 weeks.